All right, welcome to the Dream Interpretation Zone. I am your host, author, and sister friend. M.B. Mosley is the pen name. And you can look up the books at www.oneWordForTheCultureBooks.weebly.com. All right, guys, let's get into it. I'm so excited to start this podcast that I've been wanting to start all my life when it comes to my favorite thing to do in life, which is I literally love to go to sleep because I love to dream. And it is a podcast geared on dream interpretation. However, it's also a podcast in which I want to teach you how to do your own dream interpretations because, truth be told, when it comes to dreams, dreams are very customized. So the same dream that I will have of running down the street will be different for you as it is for me. Reason being is it depends on what part you are in your life. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to do a dream interpretation. However, I like to do a disclaimer. It's not a one size fits all. One, two. My dreams are spiritually based and culturally based. I'm African descent, and I like to say that because in my culture, if you see a snake in the dream, that means it's bad luck. In Asian cultures, that means it's good luck. So that's why I like to throw that out there so you also have an understanding of that. Secondly, I want to do as much as I can to thoroughly teach you how to do dream interpretations by doing an interpretation of my dreams. And I'll also make it a point to let you know where I'm at in life when I make those dream interpretations so that it can make sense to you. And doing this disclaimer is allowing you to understand that because I dream of running out of a flaming fiery hot building and you have the same exact dream does not mean that you and I are both experiencing the same dream interpretations. Once again, it's really important you understand that it all goes according to where we are in our journey here on earth. When I say my dreams are spiritually based, is that I believe in the spiritual realm. There is a waking state in which we are wide awake, we're walking up and down, and when I go to sleep at night and I talk to the divine, which is God for me, then I like to connect to God to visit me from the spiritual realm. And or as I go visit the spiritual realm is what I like to say, I like to ask for God to meet me there. Now that I got that disclaimer out the way, welcome, students. Welcome to class. We're going to do our first dream interpretation. Understand the sole purposes of these podcasts for the Dream Interpretation Zone are solely to help you be able to do dream interpretations of your own. You will probably hear me repeat a lot of things in terms of disclaimers because I feel that it is important that people understand that dream interpretation is not a one size fits all. And I have stated this time and time again, just because I have a dream of me running out of fiery burning building and you have the same exact dream doesn't mean that those dreams mean the same to both you and I. It all depends on what part we are on in our waking journey. And also the same fact is on the surface, a burning building can have the same symbolism and running could have the same symbolism. But then when we start to dig deep down, like what color were the flames? Did you run out the front door? Was it the bedroom that was burning? Was it the kitchen that blew up? You get the point. So let's continue. I like to do that disclaimer. So first order of operation here, I wanted to teach you all how to do dream interpretations. For the next couple of podcasts, I'm going to definitely be for the lots of the next couple of podcasts, I'm going to be doing a dream interpretation of my dreams, and I wanted to get to a point to where I will be able to do some dream interpretations for you all as well. But because I want to teach you how to fish, so you can do dream interpretations for yourself at any time, whenever you like. So first thing you want to do is always make sure you have a notebook next to your bedside and or a pencil. I like pencils, not even a pen. All right, so let's get into dream interpretation. I'm gonna first what I'm gonna do to teach you on dream interpretation is I'll first give you the dream itself that I had, and then we'll break down the dream, and then we'll come back to the dream so that it all makes sense. All right, and once again, you've heard this on the introduction. My disclaimer is that I believe we're in the waking stages when we're wide up and walking around, and then when I go and sleep down, I am going into my spiritual realm. I always do a prayer before I go to sleep to meet the divine, to meet God within the spiritual realm for guidance. And so this all applies to everyone. I don't discriminate whatever your background is, whomever you believe in, your ancestors, spirit guides, spirit mediums, whatever else, and higher self and so forth, your divine God, Yahweh, Jehovah, whomever. I'm just sharing with you what I do in preparation to get the dreams slash visions that I get. So the first course of action here, I'm going to tell you of a dream I had. I had to dig deep back into one of the dreams that I had because I want you to understand that dreams in the spiritual realm is a window to a event that's going to manifest itself, events that will manifest themselves. Sometimes it's event or events that will manifest themselves within 5 years to, I mean, 3 hours from waking up, 2 days from waking up, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years from the time that you get those dreams slash visions. And the same token as well, when you're in the spiritual realm, like I've always had this issue. I'm like, God, why don't you just give me dreams that are pretty straightforward? And I've had those here and there, but usually it's not the case. So that's why we resort to understanding the symbolisms behind what we're dreaming. It would be a perfect world if God just gave me every time that I want to sleep. I just got dreams that went da 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 da. So I don't have to sit there with a pencil and pad and break down the color, the people, the number, and all that good stuff. But that's what makes it worth the while, anyways. It's kind of like decoding. Let's get into it. So, some years ago, I'm talking about probably 5 years before I met my husband, I had a dream. I was about 25 years old. And within that dream itself, I was in a bridal room of a church that we used to go to. And I was in a bridal room. It was a church that we used to go to, but this bridal room was set aside in a position that the church didn't have the bridal room, if it makes sense, because it's a dream. So obviously it's going to be really weird and extra rooms. So it was in this room where my younger sister was in a purple dress, in a bridesmaid dress. And my pastor's wife was in that room. My pastor's mother was in that room. They were praying, and I was sitting on a chair. The chair almost looked like a barber chair because it was kind of high, and I was leaning back with my legs on the little, like, feet part, wearing a white wedding dress. And I remember my sister saying it is time or yelling out, and I got up from the chair, walked into the hallway, and went straight down, and there were these two double doors. Now, that was consistent of that church building that we used to go to. It was two double doors, wooden doors, and they were glasses, clear glasses where I could look inside the sanctuary. Looking inside the sanctuary, I saw a man towards the altar. He had his fingers laced. He was wearing a tuxedo. His fingers were black, dark in complexion. However, I was not able to see the neck up. And the sanctuary was full. All I could see was the back of the people's heads. And right next to the man there with the fingers laced by the altar was my pastor with a Bible in his hand. And as you know it, I woke up from the dream. I woke up excited. Within that dream itself, because it's important when you start to do dream interpretation to first do an evaluation of where you are within that current moment. So at that point in time when I had that dream, I had been wondering. I was like, well, man, if I'm gonna get married, do I want to get married? I wonder who he's gonna be. I really was, and it wasn't a desperate, like, I want to get married right now and I need to get married. It was really just questions. Those were the questions that festered in my waking mind, right? So I want you to know that that's the background, simply because we're going to do the dream interpretation as it represents my waking state. So when you start to look at a dream, just as I've told you here, you first look at your waking state. What's going on around you currently? What could have brought this dream on? And for me, like I said, it was because I had those questions floating around in my head. So when I got up, the first thing you want to do when you get up, because I think it's important to catch it right on the onset when you get up, of course, pen down your dream if you feel like you're going to forget it. And so the vibe that I felt that morning was I was very excited. I was very excited. And the vibe that I felt during that dream was excitement. So you want to write down the vibe, the energy that you felt within that dream. And then we look at, here goes the nooks and cranny of dream interpretation as it pertains to your waking life. We go right back to the start of the dream. As I've told you the dream, we go back into that room. What did I see in that room? I saw my younger sister in a purple bridesmaid dress. What does the color purple represent? It represents a lot, okay, from royalty and so forth to devotion, peace, and pride. So I have to look at the color purple and what it represents to me within my waking state at that time of those questions, right? So I woke up feeling excited. My sister was in a purple dress. my family is my sister. So they're there. And the color purple itself represents devotion, peace, pride. And we'll get back to that. And so I'm in a white dress, and the white itself represents a lot of aspects as well. But what does it pertain to me at that time? I mean, it represents things like innocence, virginity, and all that other stuff, all that other good stuff. But as it pertains to my waking state at that time, when I look at the color white, I look at goodness, safety. And then in the bride room, there were four people: my sister, my pastor's wife, my pastor's mother, and myself. Four people. What does the number four represent? It's a conscious number with a focus on long-term security. And then when I ran up to the double doors, what did I see? I saw a lot of the back of the head of lots of people. What does lots of people represent typically? Support. And when I think of the people that were in the bride room and the people that I saw in the sanctuary, in the bride room I saw my pastor's wife, my pastor's wife's mother, and then in the sanctuary I saw my pastor. Three people. In the bride room, the two women were praying for me. In the sanctuary, my pastor was holding the Bible. That represents Trinity. The Trinity, right? And then looking through the glass, what do I see? What does the glass look like? It's clear. I see clearly that my husband would be coming. Glass itself represents security, protection. So I'm looking through this clear glass where I see a husband. So most times for some people that represents security, protection. We go back up to the white dress and safety and the goodness of marriage. Within that marriage would be what? Trinity, because I saw my pastor, my pastor's wife, and the mother. A union and commitment blessed by the Holy Trinity. Lots of people along the way for support. These are the people I saw in the sanctuary. With the number four being a focus on long-term security, blessing and or long-term security for our marriage. There's going to be peace and pride within our marriage. My vibe that morning was excited. When I woke up, my vibe in the dream was excited. So now, do you all understand how that's going to work when you start to dissect your dream? You want to first wake up, take inventory of your vibe, energy in that moment. Write down your dream. Then when you get the moment, start to break it down as it pertains to your waking life. I have so many times received dreams at that time that didn't make sense because it didn't really quite fit into my waking life, but that's okay to still make a breakdown. Because I know some of you are like, well, what if we get those types of dreams where they're not intertwining with the current waking life? Write down as best as you can what each element represents, and or you can write your vibe, the colors, the numbers, and the people you see. And as life unfolds itself naturally, you're able to fill in some of these things as you pay attention to your waking life and what it means. Understand that with dreams, like I said, the manifestations could be instantaneously. Next day, I've had dreams where I dreamt last night, and the next day, all hockey sticks broke loose. Okay. And I've had I had that dream, and probably 5 years later it manifested itself. I understand that I wasn't able to see the head because it's not about the focus of the man's head, because I'd have been walking around here looking for a person with a similar head in case it looked like Morris Chestnut or something like that. And so that's how you pretty much start your dream interpretations. Write down your dream, write down your vibe, break down the colors you see, the people you see, even the colors of the people you see, black people, white people, and not in terms of in color interpretation, but just to give yourself a logistics on the type of race you see in your dreams, to break it down all the way down. What else did you see? How many dogs were in that dream? How many pebbles did you see? How deep was the ocean? And then that way you're able to really compare and contrast your waking life and will get the answers that you are searching for. Guys, thank you. We're done with the first part of our dream interpretation. I love you guys so much, and understand that the answers that you search for are on the other side in the spiritual realm. Everyone has a connection to the spiritual realm. Dig deep inside of you, search hard, and you will find it. Have a blessed day.